We need another one. Four now. I'm hungry though. I ain't gonna lie. I can go for some fries or something, folks. I ain't gonna lie, folks. I can go for some fries or something.
What's going on? What's going on? Let me know if you guys can hear me. This was short notice. Let me know. Let me know if I need to dial it up, dial it down some. I'm still making a few changes on the audio. So let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. And I'm going to jump right into it because it's late. It's late. I know a lot of you are probably sleeping. A lot of you are maybe sleeping, but I was like, let me get this one in, man. Let me get this one in. And the reason I wanted to fire this up is I'm gonna be very busy tomorrow. We got a few kid activities, so I was gonna feel bad if I didn't put in a live stream because of all the things that has been happening. A lot's been happening. Okay, I'm gonna start sharing some screens because these ninjas are crazy out here, man. These ninjas is crazy, man. These ninjas is crazy. She. I mean, real crazy. Salute to you. Jada is in the house. Thanks for that support. You've been on a roll. I appreciate you, Jada. Uh, Only in my left ear. So that's what happens. Let me do the switch out because I know what happens when you go stereo. So this is the problem. Let me do a switch out real quick. I'm not gonna renew my subscription after this one. KF, let me know if this one fixes it. I think this should be it. This should be it. Volume is kind of low today. Okay, let me know when you get it to that point. Okay, because I can crank it up. I got plenty of play. Uh, let me salute to you, MS Optimistic. Anthony is in the house. Salute KF. Um, Jada is in the house. I'm still turning it up, so let me know if you are right at the point. If it's louder, okay. So you let me know if you're good on the volume as well. Please let me know. Hopefully, in a couple weeks, I'm gonna return to my typical setup. Okay, so I put this up, so I paid for the subscription so that I can get you guys on. But I think I have figured out Video Ninja, so we're gonna go back to the usual setup. But let's get into a few things. I'm tempted to start with Austin because he might take the video down, but I think he'll also like the news update that you get out of today's live stream. Okay. So what I've noticed, and I don't know if it's because he's traveling or if he's changing course, but the last two live streams are not on members only, and he's not taking them off. Okay, get all the views you can get. The only reason I'm reacting to this is at some point in a video, he talks a little bit about me. Okay, indirectly, but he does, right? So I just want to play it out, and then I will react at the end of this part. So let's go.
I was trying to hold it in.
Over here right now it's midnight.
Yeah, with this light, right?
So that is the benefit of being over here. If I decide to go live around noon my time, or 10 a.m. my time, or 1 p.m. my time, I'll catch the night owls. And if I go live around this time, I catch the midday early morning crowd. So Southeast Asia is good for lives because you just always you can always be in the right spot. Man, I want to get out with this fucking rain, man. We have to get an umbrella.
You're locked in for real.
Yeah, so.
Thank you.
And I put up that short. That short got like 1,300 views in the first hour, and I was like, that short is doing better than my videos when I was posting Nairobi. I don't know what it is. Either I got a curse in Nairobi, or it's just so comfortable that my creativity goes down. But like literally, we just came across some rings. I was like, let me get her one of these. And I've been wanting to get her one, yeah. And so I just was like, let me record this, and I recorded it twice. And I could have did that in Nairobi, but again, my creativity is just down. So, and by the way, one of my subscribers reached out and we scheduled an interview with me for tomorrow, I think 11 a.m. I think he said 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. This is such a nice place to hang out, but this rain is killing.
I like the rain too. Hi there, the shot.
Now we in Malaysia. I just said Bali because we have so many haters that go around lying on me.
True. Idris, that's true.
A curse can be broken if you pray about it.
If you break it off and actually believe in it, not just.
Austin, a curse can be broken if you do good deeds. I don't think anybody is out here cursing you. I think a curse can be broken if you do good deeds, if you do the right thing. And I don't think what you're going through has anything to do with Nairobi. But I want to believe it is because, at the end of the day, you still left Kenya, and that is a win for us. I hope you don't return. It doesn't look like you're going to stay in Malaysia forever. It feels like you're only there for a short time. It's a visa run. You're probably going to run back to Nairobi. But I can guarantee you one thing, brother. If you give up Kenya, this might be the very last video that I make about you. I don't care if you scam your community after this. I don't care what you do after this. For me, as long as you've left Africa, I'm good. I'm good, man. I got no problems with you. You can take a woman with you. God bless you. I have nothing against you, man. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your life. Be a good person. Enjoy life. I think he references me somewhere here. I'm gonna move to that particular spot, and then we'll move on to the next topic. And I'll take your comments. Okay.
They could turn that fan off. Yeah. I seen you
2 months.
about 3 months ago.
3 months ago.
Yeah, I brought my girlfriend here from Namibia. Well, she's my wife. She got her ring today. Oh, Army guy. We just came to the last place we shot pool at when I was here. Z got her new ring today, y'all. What'd you get? Oh, okay. I have one too.
You want also?
Yeah. Can we see the food menu? Yeah. And sparkling water and still water. See,
hair got wet. Let me quickly fix myself. I know it's gonna like bounce up now.
Yo, Z got a ring now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Y'all take a screenshot. Make sure y'all send that to Mr.
Okay. All right. I'm not gonna knock your hustle, man. To some, it's impressive. I don't know, man. Like I said, as anybody tries, man, everything is possible, right? I'm not a hater, okay? I'm a critic. There's a big difference. I wish you guys well, all right? From the bottom of my heart, I wish you guys a fruitful life. I've been in this game. I know the road ahead. I wish you all nothing but the best, okay? I think for once you're doing the right thing, so that's good. I'm not a hater. I'm just a critic. If you stop stealing, we got no issues.
Popcorn face. Menu. And sparkling water and a still water. See,
Guys, my hair got wet. Let me quickly fix myself. I know it's gonna like bounce up now.
Yo, Z got a ring now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Y'all take a screenshot. Make sure y'all send that to Mr. Popcorn Face.
Hey, Austin got jokes, man. Austin got jokes, man. Austin got jokes. Good luck to you, brother Austin. Good luck to you, man. Just stop scamming. That's all I ask. I wish you the best. Shout out to you, Jada. Jada is saying you got to take these ninjas down. Sick of them switching up midstream. I hate when people talk big until they got to face the people they are talking about. Then you can literally hear their tone change. I agree with you, man. I'm always open to criticism. The guys that have anything to say, go ahead and say it. I'm not emotional. I'm not gonna come after you. You just have to be objective. Okay, you have to be respectful and objective. But yeah, like I said, with Austin Holloman, the idea is simple. Good luck to you. All right. Relationships are difficult. Marriage is difficult. Everything in terms of whatever he's trying to achieve, it's not the easiest thing to do. But I'm not here to knock him. I'm not here to be against him. This is his personal life. So why he referenced me, I don't even understand it. I think Austin Holloman doesn't understand my criticism of him. It's only about the scam. It's got nothing to do with your personal life. I don't hate your personal life. It's just a scam. Stop the scam, and I got no issues with you. Okay, so you got yourself a beautiful woman. Enjoy life. I wish you all the best. What else can I tell you? She's not my relative, is she? I don't know her. I'm not related to her. I wish you all the best. But if you're only doing this because of me, or you're doing this to prove something to me, I think you've misunderstood what marriage means. I can only I can only wish you the best, and don't be abusive, because I looked at your background. It's very tricky. Yeah, I don't think it'll work, but who am I? Maybe he can prove us wrong, man. Raw Travels is saying, Nana, you know that song you are listening to and so proud, songs like Smooth Jazz. I think you had some typos in there. I think you're talking about the intro that I made. Uh, yeah. Salute to you. Andrew Senior is in the house. Let's pick out the second video. So this is all on Austin. I don't think we're gonna be making any future videos until he returns to Nairobi, Kenya. Occasionally, I will look at the GoFundMe to see how it's doing. I'm going to look at it real quick just to see how it's doing. But like I said, again, I wish him all the best. I have absolutely nothing against him personally. Two things: as long as he's out of Nairobi and he's not scamming, I got no issues. I mean, the scam is still holding at 1069, you know. Uh, Maybe he'll take it down, and then I will never even talk about him. Okay, a hater is somebody that just hates every progress you make or everything you do. if he's gonna go back to creating content, opening up his videos, posting his videos, and getting the views, getting his AdSense, his super chats, and not stealing from people and fundraising and all this BS, absolutely no issues with him. Okay, so that's the updates on the GoFundMe. Still sitting out where we left it a few days ago. Now I'm gonna point to this video, and I addressed it a little bit in my last in one of my videos on the main channel. And no, before I get to that, let's talk about LT. Let's talk about LT, okay? Let's see, where's LT's channel? Let's go. Lyrical. Okay, so before you guys knock my homeboy, man, LT is a good friend of the channel, okay? Of course, we don't agree on everything. I was curious to see, because this is pretty much the first, I would say, major channel that is gonna cover me as a main subject of a live stream. So I turned on my notifications. I wanted to listen in and see what he's talking about. And I think I missed his live stream yesterday, but I found out that he talked to Oshay Duke Jackson on his last live stream. So this initially, if you can see my screen, because I've not refreshed it from yesterday, this live stream was supposed to be at 10:30 in the morning today. It didn't work out. He changed it, I think, to about 5 p.m. today, and that got moved up to about 11 p.m. today. So this is why I didn't stream, because I didn't want to have a conflict stream while he was streaming, because some of our audiences will overlap. So I didn't want that, since he was already going to cover me. I was going to wait for his stream to be done, and then I would stream tomorrow. But I waited and waited. It didn't come on at 10:30, I think is what he said it at. And here we are at midnight, my time, and it's not there. And if I go back to refresh his page, I think he's moved this stream to 12 p.m. tomorrow. And I'm wondering, is it just busy schedule, lack of material, maybe having second thoughts? Because I don't know. And YouTubers do this. Sometimes it's a bit of clickbait, right? Like African YouTuber just disrespected Black Americans in the worst way. I don't know what the disrespect is. I just have a disagreement, right? I'm a disrespect. I have a disagreement, and I push back. And if you're happen to be part of the community and some of the things I say feels disrespectful, then it's just, you just have to take it, right? But most of the things I talk about, I specify that it's not everybody. And I talk about specific subjects like Oshay, like Auston, in my videos. I make it very specific. So why they broaden these views, I don't understand it. I feel like a lot of YouTubers are being dishonest, right? Big channels get the perks, but I don't care about numbers. As long as you report factually, I can accept it. Two things. I caught something during the Oshay interview that he had. I didn't put the time marker on it, but I'm going to try and find it. Okay. So let's see. This is when Oshay comes in, right here somewhere. Right here.
Duke the Don.
What happened to that nigga? Popular Black American that lives. But that's correct. And I'll give you another example before I'll be quiet. Look at what's going on right now in South Africa.
But I'm like, is that a problem if they keep to themselves? Because a lot of these countries, the African countries you're speaking about, they're homogenous countries. When you speak about America, Canada, they're new world countries, they're melting pots, everybody's there. So to build with other Blacks in Canada, there's no Canada's a perfect example, because there's no central governing body of Blacks. There's no, we're the main Blacks, we're from here. There is none of that. We're all immigrant Blacks. So I'm a first generation immigrant. So I don't have the same relationship to Jamaica or Guyana as my mother and my father do, because they're actually born there. I'm born in Canada. So my experience is that of a Black American almost, because when I'm in elementary school and they're telling you to fill out the race says Black/African American. I'm not American at all, but that's what it says in Canada. That's how they treat it. They see everything from a different type of perspective. You're Black here. So they don't, the government, the white structure, they see Black. They don't see individual structures. Certain groups, they build by themselves. they don't really interact. They don't intertwine. A lot of Nigerians, some of them will interact. Some of them will kind of, get into the main group of what's going on, Central Black. But other groups, the Somalians, if they're in the hood, a lot of them they're kind of with us. And then some of them kind of building their own community. So we don't begrudge the ones that don't participate in building with us. If they're building and they're building good for them. I think the difference and the distinction the difference we're dealing with is there's people that are pretending that they're for the collective black group and then they're only building with their own. I think that is the distinction.
That's a great point. And that's the real issue. I know when you listen to some of the guys that are talking about the foundational black community, I'm in the Pan-African community. I'm probably one of the most disliked guys. But what you're saying is absolutely correct, because the people who have the most pay the biggest price. And if we're not careful, we're going to be next. What's going on in South Africa right now? What's going on in South Africa is the same thing that people are talking about what's going on in Black America. But it's not apples and it's like my stats teachers used to say, it's not equal, but it's similar.
Yeah.
So you have in Southern Africa, you have South Africa at the very south of it, right?
Has denied the most Ghanaians. Like when we look at the amount of applicants that tried to come in, especially during the World Cup period, we've denied the most Ghanaians. We're very particular and meticulous at picking our blacks, but we let all the Indians in. So we have an issue with that. We just let all these Indian criminals, they're smuggling drugs, guns, and everything. So they're leading right now. When you look at like the reports on the news, whenever there's a big bust or there's or there's like a big sting where they're taking in like 20 motherfuckers, 30 motherfuckers, they'll be all Indians. And they'll be smuggling drugs, they'll be smuggling guns, they brought in Indians indiscriminately, and they look at blacks and they pick and choose, and they're meticulous, and they make sure that they bring all the best ones. So they come with this type of prestige, this type of aura, this I'm better type. There is those individually, but I see those things, but I don't like to group and have that as like the main talking point. Like
the problem with what Oshay has been ranting about is he feels he says he's not African, but then again he wants to live as if he's African, and he's upset that in Africa the Africans don't see him as Africans, and that is because people are confusing what an ideology is to what is fact. Okay, you're not Ugandan. Okay, if it doesn't matter how much I've naturalized here, I'm not really American, right? It's very obvious. So there's certain things that I don't know culturally in America. There's certain things I don't understand in America. It doesn't matter how long I live here. Those are the same dynamics when you move as a black person, either from the Caribbean, from Latin America, you move to Africa. You're going to experience the same things, and that's fine. The only time these things start to fade is if you're very intentional about why you've moved to sub-Saharan Africa. And it starts by immersing yourself in the culture, which means also learning these languages of the cultures you're trying to be part of. These guys that are traveling to Africa, they're not doing that. They're just there for a short time, 2 years, 3 years, max 6, 5 years, and they're out. And they have no intention of learning the culture or being fully assimilated in the cultures. And that means that you're not fully invested, right? If you're not fully invested, you're always going to feel that the people that you've gone to are not fully accepting you. And remember, not every African is a Pan-African. So I don't have to agree with your ideology. Majority of Africans are not Pan-African. They are pro-African unity. Those are two different concepts. They are pro-African unity to unite with their brothers on the African continent. Outside of the continent, a lot of the people in Africa don't even know. Some of them don't even know that Black Americans exist. Some of them don't even know there are Black people in Europe. I bet if you go to my village, a lot of them don't even know that Black Americans even exist. Some of our citizens don't know that slave trade existed. So how are those people expected to relate to you? There's some level of sensitization that needs to be done, and they don't understand this. They're making this sound like we are mad at Oshay calling out the negatives of Africa. Nobody is upset if you travel to Africa and you call out the negativity. I am never going to be mad at you because I'll never defend anything that is negative on the African continent. They are just shifting the goalpost. What we are upset about is the disrespect. It's different from criticism. They're just morphing it all in together. This is why Oshay deleted those videos, because those videos is not a criticism of Africa. Those videos are disrespecting Africans. What LT was talking about, like Tariq Nash's thumbnails, calling people musty, sandals, all this derogatory stuff. What has that got to do with your lineage? Your lineage is your lineage. Believe whatever the fuck you want, man. Everybody's tired of these guys shifting who they are. Today they are Indians, they are Israelis, they are natives, they are whatever the fuck they want to be. I don't want to participate in your confusion. That is your own problem. If you can't find who you are and find and understand your identity, that is your problem. I don't care. And most Africans, we don't care. You are not African. We don't care. That's your own problem. What has that got to do with the sandals that I'm wearing in Africa? What has your lineage got to do with my forehead and my small head and my big head and my hairline, whatever it is, you know, or no tooth, or the new things that you've come about? That is disparaging and derogatory and just disrespecting people who have done nothing to you, just so that you're trying to distinguish yourself from them. Well, your mere existence in America is already enough distinction. So there's no need to subclassify yourself to create even further distinctions, because it's very obvious if you're an African and if you're not. It's very, very obvious. Okay. And Oshay is doing this while living on the African continent. That is why a lot of people are upset. We're not upset because you criticize Africa's lack of drainage or Africa's corruption or some of the voodoo and the cultural values that are upsetting. Man, have you been to Nigerian TikTok? Nigerian TikTok is the most critical of Nigeria. Nigerians in the diaspora fund all these political parties so that they can remove these old heads that are running these countries. Do you think we just sit in the West and we don't participate in our countries? That is another thing, and I addressed it the other day. These people believe, because of their foolish ideology, their foolish Pan-African ideology, that if an African lives in the West, they have no contributions to their countries. That's very stupid, okay? If you look at remittances from abroad, what do you think those remittances do to the national economy? A lot of money. Without Nigerian diaspora money going into Nigeria, that naira would have just fallen off to levels that you've never seen before. The number of businesses that Nigerian Americans have created in Nigeria, Nigerian guys that are in Britain, the jobs. I have a friend in Dallas that has built a 4-story building school in Ghana for K through 12. Yes, it's private. You got to pay for it. But guess what? He's employed teachers because Ghana has a surplus of teachers and the government can't employ everybody. All these people are sending money home. Yes, it's going to enrich them, but they're contributing to Ghana's education. They are educating people's children. They are providing modern high-tech facilities. I know people that have built hospitals with their own money in the Dallas area in Africa. Yes, it's for profit, but that is what the private sector does. That has been Africa's biggest problem, not embracing full capitalism without all these layers of waiting for government to fix all your problems. And we talk about these things all the time. If you guys didn't preoccupy us with your bullshit xenophobia, most of our channels would have been talking about African issues. But right now, we've had to defend ourselves. This is why we've moved on from talking about those issues to talking about this, because guess what? This is equally important. We're not going to sit down and have you guys have your way of disrespecting us and hope that, oh no, they're not going to push back. Hell no. We will push back, and we will fight back with the same tools that you guys are using to fight us. We're not going to be like, oh, nice, be nice. No, we're not doing that shit no more, man. We've done that before. It's not going to work. And here's the reason why. Because these guys are bullies. These guys are bullies. They are bullies because they have large subscriber base. They have big channels. They have big audiences who are primarily Black Americans, and they're going to use their audience to disrespect Africans while making money on top of it, and expect that we treat them better and not say anything. And that's not going to happen. Why is it that all of a sudden these guys are making TikTok clips of me, little videos and little clips of me, some of them taking me out of context, as if I'm hiding or running away from something. No, everything that I've said on the internet, I mean it. I damn sure mean it. And if you remind me, or if you play me a clip, I'll say it again and I'll double down. I'm not changing shit until you guys start correcting some of the things that you're saying about my people. Nobody's gonna take this disrespect, whether you live in Africa or whether you live overseas. And I've seen they're starting to do what they used to do back then. They're going around saying the Africans on the continent are different from the Africans abroad. No, we're the same people. When I go home, we're the same people. We speak the same language. We grew up the same. We went to the same high schools. Don't make a difference. When I chat with my mates from my WhatsApp group in Africa, we all sound the same. Nobody's different. We talk to our relatives literally all day, every day. We all think the same. The only difference is we are more vocal. We are more connected to the internet. And we know you guys. They don't know y'all. We know you guys. So because we know you guys, we know what to expect. They don't know what to expect. That's the only difference. You can take any African from the village, wherever you find them, bring them to the United States within 6 months, they're going to think the same way that I'm thinking. They're going to have the same talking points that I'm talking about. So the thing here is, maybe it's time for you guys to listen for once, because it feels like you don't want to listen, but you want to be heard. And that's not going to fly. I'm going to play this out a little bit, see if I can catch the part where LT asked him about Auston Holloman scam, and let's see what he talks about. This guy is over here calling out scammers, right? But let's see how he's going to react to this scam.
That's kind of spitting that rhetoric. And that kind of started with that one guy, I forgot his name. He was out of Baltimore, Maryland. If it's a cleanup, we can do something.
So he didn't spend money, but he lost money standing with folks. Does that not mean anything? Does that go for anything? Is that not putting something equitable up at that point? Because
Black Americans are more direct.
But lineage, it brings that's what it means. It means you're not from here. This is my lineage, is from this soil. So I think the verbiage is a little off.
Okay. So let me just say this. There is a growing number of people online that's kind of spitting their rhetoric, and that kind of started with that one guy, I forgot his name, attacking me, or in France, Pan-African Keyboard Warrior Syndrome. They're in Beverly Hills on the bus stop. You know what I mean? Taking pictures, sitting in the back home. And largely, when that person is working, they're sending money back to Cameroon. You know, they're sending money back to Ghana.
But damn it, where is that money going to do? He believes that you're only Pan-African if you live and work on the African continent. That's stupid. Only about 1% of Africans, less than 1% of Africans live overseas. I'll take your comments here in a bit. Only less than 1% of Africans live overseas. Do you know how much remittances they send back home? You think that small contribution that you're doing in Uganda or Kenya is more than what most Africans in the diaspora contribute? I gave you guys the numbers the other day. Nigerians are sending home almost $20 billion a year in remittances. You know what that is? That is the GDP of all Southern African countries combined, with the exception of South Africa, and I think Namibia and Botswana. If you take those three countries out, all the others' GDP combined is what Nigeria sends back in remittances. So you are trying to discredit what we do in the diaspora, the amount of money we send back home, the businesses we build at home, the work we do at home, and you're minimizing that to the few guys that just travel on holidays and come back. There are Ghanaians that have built a whole lot. If you go to Ghana, ask what burger means, and ask Ghanaians what burgers do for Ghanaians. Okay, they do a whole lot. Today, before I came on, well, not before I came on, but earlier on today, I paid for somebody's healthcare bill today in Ghana. Yes, it's a relative, but I paid for somebody's healthcare bill. That's how much help we offer people. So you can't sit here with your narrow mind, see little things in Africa, and act as if all the people working here are just working to eat for themselves and they don't do much. Go and ask how many people's apps. Let them show you a screenshot of their Western Union. I know Africans that send more money home than the money they even spend on themselves here. And that's a fact. Or if you don't know this, then Yes, they are gatekeeping some things from you. They're just not telling you everything. You living there doesn't change anything. You're never going to be more African than me just because you live on the African continent. And you've only been there 6 years and you've not worked in a formal sector in Africa. You don't speak the African languages. What do you know? What do you know? You're always in the house recording videos. You're not outside like that. What do you know? But yes, people are going to believe that because, oh, he lives in Africa. But let's keep going. I'm trying to I don't want to talk about Oshay's nonsense because I think he's.
Godfrey couldn't get any money from them for his project, you know? But, Guyanese, like.
Separate for reparations. So I'm like, a lot of that is redundant.
Well, no, I of us and the blacks don't do that. That's across the board. We can all work on that. All Africans got to understand, if you're not from America and you get an American citizenship, regardless if you have a passport or not, you're an outsider to that community. People are going to look at you. You're not in the community. You got to give more. If I get citizenship in Uganda today, does it matter? No. I'm still an outsider to them. I got to bring them value. There is no way I can.
No, you don't have to bring them value. What do you mean? If you work in America, you're not giving value? You think we're just taking benefits? What do these fuckers talk about? What do you think we're doing here? You think we're just taking? You think it's easy? See, they talk as if, and I'm going to play that Afro Think Tank video. They talk as if being in America is guaranteed that you're going to be successful in America. And that's stupid. If that was the case, I would have found everybody in this country very, very successful. And that's not the case. Okay. I consult with people. I talk to people. I've helped people with a lot with their careers. And I can guarantee you, a lot of people are struggling, even here in America. They are sounding, I saw that stupid video Afro Think Tank made today, making it sound like your personal effort doesn't mean anything, that the work you're doing every day doesn't mean anything, that America just gives you. Do you know how hard it is to make it and break out in this country? They think it's that easy? Yes, the systems work, and there's a level playing field, and you have a good chance and a good shot at doing very well here, but it's not very easy the way they're making it out to be. It's not very easy. If it was that easy, a bunch of these creators will not be sitting on YouTube begging for money all the time because they don't want to log off and go out there and do some work. Okay? That's why they're constantly begging. They're constantly fundraising. They're always saying, hit the cash app and all this bullshit that they've come up with to monetize off people's backs. And now going through a partner program that is established for everybody that creates. It's not very easy to make money in America like they're making it sound to be. The median income already tells us that. All the people on welfare and benefits, which is a majority of his population, is an indication that it's not so easy to make money here. But yet, these people want to minimize the black immigrants' work, the black Nigerian doctors' work, the Sierra Leonean nurses' work, all the school they have to go through to get these certifications, to get these exams, to even apply to a job, interview to a job, get a job. All these things these people have to do to be able to even work their way up in corporate America. All the stages, man, sometimes it takes 3 or 4 years to see a little promotion, to see 2% raises in a paycheck. For all the investments that you do that sometimes work out and don't work out, the losses you take on the stock market. You think it's very easy to be a capitalist? It's not very easy, okay? Capitalist rewards the people that get it right. And these guys have come here and they're working hard, but you idiots want to sit around and make it sound like they're only doing better because they're in the United States of America. And this is one thing they don't understand. If I go to Ghana today, I still will do well, because I come from that class of Ghanaians that was always on the right track to do well. And my classmate is a reflection of it. All my mates are doing well. I don't even know a single one that didn't. Okay? So this narrative that you're only here because you can't, you're too scared to go home. Who is scared to go home? Nobody is scared to go home. Sometimes certain situations put people in certain places. And like I said, I've made my own example. I work remotely. I'll save a whole lot of money if I went over there. And once my wife figures out an option to go remotely, we'll move back home. I'd love to live in Africa. Jeez. That's why I spend a lot of time there. I love it over there. Okay. I like the opportunities that America gave me, but nobody's fleeing anything. This mindset is just tactically the mindset of a xenophobe. And these people will say it because they're not happy with certain things that are not said on the internet. So all of a sudden, even the good quote unquote Pan-Africans are now upset, and they've gone back using the same insults that Tariq Nasheed is using. They are the same people. They are not any better. I'll let this play out a little bit. I'll get your comments, man.
Deal with Ugandans without giving them, and it doesn't want to address it. And that's why these diaspora wars get worse. You can just remove all the Caribbeans and Black Americans. Just look at South Africa.
It becomes not just
some of the negative pitfalls of any kind of ethno-nationalism, if you want to call that a nationalistic mentality. That's what it is. But the same can be said for Jamaicans, Haitians, anybody, white supremacists. Everybody kind of has that kind of that belongs to a certain level.
Not
You're
really,
gonna have
because
extremists.
There's Asians.
You're gonna have extremists.
There's American, whatever the fuck you call the natives.
Right.
We're all Guyanese. We're not black. Remixing it. They were remixing it to their own thought. They were putting morals and all this other.
If my position were to shift, like even me talking to you today, I'm not talking to you just so that I can be right. I'm listening to what you said.
So I don't know how we fix this problem, but there's definitely a disconnect. And I think a lot of the content that we're doing online sometimes can lead to a further disconnect and people trying to become super tribal against each other.
Well, let me just say this. I mean, I'm seeing some of the comments,
I didn't read the
right
super
now.
chats. Damn.
Yeah, and I'm thankful for the comments. Like I said, it's my brother. I've been wanting to come on the show for a long time. But here's the situation that we have. If we just say we're all black, we all got the same oppressor, stop the division. Okay? The issue is that none of the needs of either side or any of the sides will ever get met. Okay? This is why Biafra in Nigeria wanted to split. I mean, this is what's going on in South Africa. So what's going to happen is it's just another way to sweep the things underneath the rug, and the division is already there because it's already been planted. If somebody can't get anything of value from you, then they can't fuck with you. They just can't, because they're wasting their time dealing with you. And so you can say that the division is going to stop, but you can only vibe your way so much, And again, you come to Africa, oh man, I had a great time and it's good and everything like that. Okay, then let's see if you get anything tangible. Like, is there anything infrastructural that you'll get? And largely when you get to that next level, when you got to put up and shut up and treat somebody fairly, there's a reason why these countries are poor. It's not because they're lacking talent, because Africa got just as much talent as anybody else, know? And when we get to the things that will help build us a better continent, this is one of the reasons, brother, like I didn't want to end up, because I would end up on your show. You know how much money I could have made for just giving content creations courses, like with the kind of the background. Like, I would say I'm a tier 1 commentator. I'm not the biggest, but people I put on, people I've helped.
Yo, Oshay, you know what pisses me off? When you say, oh, this nigga's better than me. Oh, this nigga's... And I'm like, yo, this bum-ass YouTuber, you're giving too much credit. Yo, this nigga's a better... Oshay, man, you're too loyal to your folks, man. You're too loyal to the folks, man.
I heard about the barbershop, I heard about the things, but like I said, he like a little brother to me and everything like that.
Okay,
whatever like that.
So this is where he talks about it right here.
He knows how to keep things going, how to keep people talking about him. So in terms of that, he's excellent as far as, marketing himself and keeping himself algorithm. Is he a better commentator than me? Not in a million years, right? He cannot structure videos good or whatever like that. But he is an awesome YouTube person. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But I have never said I'm gonna sell a course. Like if you emailed me, asked me, man, can you help me? I'll just do it. Right? I never brought a tour to Uganda. I never had nobody invest in the country. Why? Because I didn't want my community or even the brothers from Caribbeans or whatever, because they all emailed me. Yeah. I didn't want none of them to be harmed. And I could have been the niggas doing all the scamming. And you've never heard that about me.
Yo, can we talk about Auston Holloman scamming? Can we talk about his various schemes and scams? Because we call out all these other people, but you never called out Auston Holloman.
Well, let me, so the thing is, I saw some of the videos. I'm not gonna speak on. I know Austin. I just talked to him. I'm actually in Nairobi. I just missed him. So, I don't want to talk about my brother right now because I haven't had. We're gonna talk about it offline.
No, man. Oshay, man, you're too loyal to your folks, man. You're too loyal to the folks,
I heard
man.
about the barbershop, I heard about the things, but like I said, he like a little brother to me and everything like that. We, God is not through with him yet. We still, the brother is still coming up. Okay, we want to still, we still praying for the brother. You know what I mean? But I heard he had certain things and all that. But as far as me, I love my community. My community did a lot for me, and I will not harm a brother from Guyana or a Ugandan.
Okay, so this is the bullshit that I wanted you guys to see. Let me take your comments. I think I may have missed a super. I hate to see that. That man had me subscribing, then unsubscribing by the end of the video. He was talking big until Oshay got on the live. If lines get drawn, he'll choose side of the. Yeah, well, like I said, I understand this content game, even though I'm very new to it. But you have to have my way of doing things to be able to hold your line, right? LT is friends with O'Shea. He admits that they are friends, okay? I'm a somewhat newbie to this stuff, so I'm friendly towards him. I'll put it that way. I'm friendly towards him. I like him. I like his content. I don't agree with everything he says. I do for sure not agree with everything he says. But here's the thing. O'Shea was rambling a lot in this video. Like he was saying, we give value, they don't give value. We give this, they don't give this. With the mindset that Africa is home to him. But for most Africans, that's not home. That's like you are visiting, And some parts of the interview, he admits he's visiting. But then he turns around and says, well, we got to give value. They got to give value. The ideology that he's holding on to right now does not fit what he's trying to do in Africa. It does not fit. This is why he's not in Uganda. I thought my mic sounds muffled. Evie Max is really struggling today, huh? Let me go back and see. Dial it back down some, maybe. Let me know. How about now? Let me know. Bad mic. Damn. Okay. Bad mic. Too loud, maybe. Bad mic. Let me. They have this AI feature. Okay, it's good now. Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's good now. So I guess I had it cranked up way too much. All right, thanks for calling that out there, Rainbow the God. So let me try to recollect my thought. So here's the thing: the Auston Holloman thing. O'Shea is very big on calling out African scams. And he's in Nairobi, he's been in America long term. He knows this is a scam. But what does he say? He called Auston Holloman before Auston Holloman left to go to Asia. So that means O'Shea is aware that this is a scam. So if you're aware that this is a scam, why don't you call the brother out and say, hey, bro, this is not good. Move on from it. It's not a good idea. And there'll be no issues, But he knows it is, but why doesn't he have the same energy for Auston Holloman? He doesn't, because Auston Holloman is FBA and Auston Holloman is his brother. Okay, if Auston Holloman is your brother, that means you're very selective in who you call out. I don't care who I call out. I call out when the Somalis were doing bullshit in Minneapolis. I called them out. One of my best performing videos was me calling out the Somalis. I called out my own because I was right about it. So I called them out. But he's not going to call out Auston Holloman's scam, even though he knows it's a scam. Why? Because Auston is his friend, and he's going to talk to LT offline about it. Okay, if you are this you're talking about all these guys, T3 and whatever, they went to Nairobi to scam. Oshay Duke Jackson has talked about it. A lot of Black Americans that have gone over there to scam. But he won't talk about Auston Holloman's scam. He won't talk about Auston Holloman's scam. Why? Because I broke the news, and that's something that is and he's his boy. And this is how is Africa gonna grow with this mindset? If you're over there calling us out for scams, why are you not calling out scams when it comes from your community in Africa? That's a double standard. And I'm glad that I was able to find a spot right there. You guys caught it. Let's go to this video here, and then I'll wrap it up because it's late as hell. Uh, this one, there's a little bit of this clip in my video today, and it's gonna point out some of the things that I've been talking about all the time. Okay, I think it's right here. Do I have the right shirt? No. Close this out. Let's go here to where is it? What did I just do? This one. Why? Okay, why? Okay, let's go to this guy. Okay, there's something that a lot of people need to understand. Okay, this is very typical of people. The large majority of scams of Black Americans in Africa have come from their community. Most of those people are quote unquote Pan-Africans, right? They've made this into a club, even though it's just an ideology. And they somehow, when you have an ideology, like you're liberal, you're conservative, sometimes you're forced to live in your own bubble and think that everybody that doesn't agree with your stupid ideology is an idiot. Or that, like you can be a right-wing person and you think everybody that is on the left doesn't have any brains. You can be a leftist and you might think everybody on the right doesn't have a brain. That is your ideology. That's not any different from being Pan-African. Being Pan-African doesn't give you the right to speak negatively about Africans or to force Africans to conform to that ideology that you believe in. You can believe whatever the fuck you want. You can believe you're a woman. That's your own problem. It's the same thing. You can believe you're a woman. Okay? You can believe that you're a Jew, like some of them do. We don't care. We are not going to be part of your confusion. But your embrace of Pan-Africanism should come with respect for the African people, because that is an ideology that says that we trace our origins to Africa and we believe in one Africa. And that means not just the people on the continent, but every person that identifies as an African, even if they live abroad. But what I've noticed from these Pan-Africans, they're very sly, okay? See, I'd rather take Tariq Nasheed over a guy like this. Because with Tariq, you know what you're going to get. With Tariq, you're not going to be surprised when he says anything, right? We know what to expect. But the subtle line walking of being both sides, like this dude had a phone call with Oshay Duke Jackson. I don't know if Oshay gave him some money or Oshay helped him with his content, but he definitely reached out to Oshay and had a real conversation with Oshay. And then took his camera with a straight face and made a video in support of Oshay Duke Jackson. This guy did. That's when I knew he was a piece of shit. All these guys, I've always said, Western blacks are money first. They're very corrupted. They talk about African corruption, but no, they change their views based on money. Remember, and these guys are content creators. This is how they make their living. So anything to increase their traction and their views, they are very quick to move towards that. This is why a lot of these guys have moved towards Tariq Nasheed. It's the same thing. Like because this is now the new money maker. So everybody's there. Phil Scott, all of them were Manosphere guys, right? Because Manosphere was popping. The next thing that is going to be popping on YouTube, they're going to all move towards that. This is what these guys have always done. They don't hold like a fixed position like I do, where I'm like, I'm this person and I'm holding on to this line. And if whatever is popping, let it pop. I don't care. Maybe I might have an opinion on it. I might talk about maybe some police brutality stuff and just move on from it. Maybe one commentary and be done with it. But I'm not going to shift into something because everybody's going there. And Pan-Africanism, as they say, does not pay. Because the idea of going into Africa to set up shop in Africa, not everybody can do that. So most people are not buying into this grift. But the Westerners have made Pan-Africanism into a grift. This is why they all fundraise to do a project in Africa. Oh, I'm putting out water for my people, but then they put the water on their own land. Yeah, Ninja, you build water for your own land in Africa and you open it up to the community. Oh no, it's your own water, right? It's oh we're collecting money to do this. Once you start crowdfunding to support projects in Africa, I start to look at you a certain way because you're saying these people don't have enough. You either do it with your own money or you don't. When I do projects in Africa, I do it with my own money. I don't come on the internet and brag about it or talk about it. None of you guys hear about it. But these idiots think they think we don't do anything for our people. If they know the amount of work we do on a day-to-day basis, we don't even talk about it. But I don't come here and ask you to donate money for a certain cause. All these guys do. Everybody that has built a Pan-African channel has somehow solicited funds from their audience to do a project in Africa. And most of the times, if you really, really look into the project, it's either on their own property, it's on next to their own property, it's connected to something that they're also gonna equally benefit from it. Even if they're not consistently there, it's still in their own, or it's their own, they own it. It's same ownership kind of a thing, but crowdfunded, crowd raised. And when they do these little deeds, this I thought this guy was somebody that had spent like a lifetime in Africa. He's only been going to Africa for 6 years. What do you know, man? What do you know? He only been there for 6 years. And he talks as if he has authority over the Africans, that he can talk on our issues just because he found himself in Africa. You're not African. Your ideology tells you that you're African. Okay, and it's always these yellow people, right? The black guys that are more yellow, they're the ones that like come up with these crazy ideas. You're not African. You have African ancestry. You're American, and that's okay. I'm African. You're American, and I can tell when you speak. I can tell by the tattoos on your body. I can tell by the bonnet on your head that you're not African. You're American, but your ideology makes you believe you're an African. That's crazy. If you go to my village and you tell them you're African, they'll think you're mad. You're crazy. But I don't want to make you know that you're crazy because you've believed in this so much. And now you're trying to say, well, the Africans that live in the US, they can't talk about, they're different from the ones at home. No, the ones at home will call you a Brony or Muzungu too. They'll think that you're foreign, okay? With time, maybe they'll tolerate you, to get used to you. But until you learn some Yoruba or some Igbo, you're foreign. And that's okay. Like I said, it's not derogatory, it's not demeaning. You're just confused because you have an ideology. But in reality, if you move out of your ideology into real life, you are foreign. And that is okay. Yes, you are here due to the transatlantic slave trade, but you pass on from generation to generation. All your culture is American. You speak on American issues, and you have an interest in Africa, but that doesn't make you African, and that's okay. So according to your ideology, you're African, but in real life, you're not African. If you earn citizenship, I can accept it. Some people will come in there and get their citizenship. If you do that, yes, then I'll accept it because you're African by citizenship. But even me, I'm an American by citizenship, but I don't claim American. Everybody that asks me, where are you from? I always say I'm from Ghana because you can tell the moment I start speaking, it's the same dynamics. So for idiots like this to tell me to go home because he doesn't agree with me is the same talking points that Oshay is saying, that Tariq is saying. It's because he believes that I'm not American enough. I'm American. I'm home. Why are you telling me to go home? My passport says that I'm American. At least I have citizenship here. I live here. I have citizenship here. I'm a United States of America citizen. Yes, I was born in a foreign country, but I've naturalized and I've taken oath with selective service, which means if this shit goes down, my ass has to go to war to give my life up for this nation. So why are you telling me I'm not citizen enough? Isn't that a form of racism and bigotry? It is. The reason you're able to say that is because I have an accent, which means that you think that I'm not American. How do you know I'm not FBA if you've never seen my documents? If you've never had that conversation with me, you're able to tell I'm not FBA because of how I speak and my mannerisms. Well, that's the same thing. I'm able to tell you are not African because of your tattoos and your mannerisms and your language. Okay? So you believe you're an FBA because you're born and raised in America, you speak an American accent, and you have the American culture. I was born in Ghana. I migrated here, became an American citizen. I'm equally American. If me and you show up to Jamaica tomorrow and we commit a crime, they'll say two Americans. They won't distinguish which kind of American that I am because my passport says that I'm a citizen of the United States of America. Yet you can go on there and say clearly that I need to go home and develop my country. What home? This is home. Then what is the purpose of citizenship if I've sworn an oath to defend this nation and to live and abide by the rules of this nation? In your head, I'm not American enough, even though I have good documentation to show that I'm American. I'm not. And I can understand that because I was born in a foreign country and then I migrated here. You haven't migrated to Africa. You just take tours and visits. You've only been introduced to the continent for 6 years. How are you African? You don't sound African. Your manners are not African. You're too moral, you're too impulsive and angry to be African. What are you talking about? There's nothing African about you. Who have made you guys believe these things? And what I'm saying is not xenophobic. It is the truth. Get away from these ideological attachments into reality. The reality is very straight. Talk to any African from any country on the continent and tell them you're African and see how much laughter is gonna pop out of their mouths. You're not African. Okay. So when you go to Nigeria and they accept you and they cuddle you and they talk to you, no, they know you're not from there. They're just accepting of you. Okay. They're just accepting of you and they're buying into your delusion. But the truth of the matter is you can't change that. The only way you change that is if you sit down there for many years and just culturally change who you are as a person. And most people are not going to be able to do that. This is why this whole ideological thing is flawed. For an African to say that you're not African should not make you feel like any kind of way because you're not African. I can accept you being African American because of your African ancestry, but you're not African. And that is okay. The same way I'm not Black American, and that is okay. It doesn't offend me. So why is the opposite that true? But let's get what he said. We'll play through a little bit just so that I think I reacted before the video. So I'm going to let the video play out for you to have an understanding of what I'm talking about.
What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. I have a problem with something Oshay Duke Jackson is doing, okay? I got a big problem with something he's doing. So because I know he won't stop doing it, let me clarify for anybody that's paying attention what's going on, all right? Now, Oshay is currently at war, all right, with a bunch of what he likes to refer to as keyboard Pan-Africans, right? Keyboard Pan-Africans. Now, I understand what he's saying, right? He's talking about those Africans who leave their country, come to America, the UK, various different places, and never go back ever unless they go to vacation a couple weeks, right? And then they go back to their comforts of the West, because once they get a taste of McDonald's and Taco Bell and goddamn comfortable pillows and shit, that is it. They never going back to Africa, right? And usually these are the ones in the workplace that will sit there and tell an African American how terrible their country is in real life. Terrible. I mean, absolutely terrible, right? But then they will get online when an African American regurgitates the exact same thing that they were just telling all of their freaking co-workers about their country, and because it's being said online, they're embarrassed. So then all of a sudden they act like they're for their country, right? And the problem is there's a lot of diasporan Africans, not all of them, obviously, but there's always a few of them, right? That they just got this thing to where they don't want anybody to talk about the shit in their country, the whole literal reason why they're in another country, because nobody leaves the country that they love unless they have to. Nobody leaves the country.
Okay, so let's take a few logics. Nobody leaves because they have to. Okay, So okay, O'Shea doesn't love their country. When you guys travel to go live in Colombia and you spend some time in other countries, that logic doesn't apply. It only applies when you're going from a developing country to a developed country. But it doesn't apply when you move from a developed country to a developing country. That's the double standard here. It's just that minimization theory. You believe that the Africans are not advanced enough, and that when we come here, we see McDonald's is so good. Most of us don't even eat the American food. Are you crazy? And this guy is supposed to be a Pan African, and he moves around with Nigerians on the East Coast. When is the last time you seen a Nigerian happily eating McDonald's? We don't eat that shit. Most of the times we cook our food. Don't you see African restaurants and African things pop up all over the damn place nowadays? People eat the same things they were eating in Africa here. I don't eat no McDonald's, KFC. I don't eat none of that shit. Some people do, but majority of us don't. So these things they talk about as if some primitive people came to the West, they saw something so good, and they don't want to go back. We immigrated here. Sometimes it's consequential. Some people it's because they won a lottery that they played. Some people because they fled wars because of situations at home. Everybody's scenario is different. Some of them is family-based immigration. Maybe their parents came here, and as a consequence, they had to come here. Some people is because of marriage. My wife was practicing law in Zambia. She only moved here because I married her. If I didn't marry her, she was not going to move here. She was content working in the Zambian legal system. So it doesn't apply to everybody. It's not that some people move for certain reasons. And I've lived in 4 different countries. And all of them was not because I was just running away from Africa. Some of it was really, really for experience, like Colombia. Living in Colombia was a choice. I was not living in Colombia to make money. I was not living in Colombia because I hated Africa. I left the United States to go live in Colombia. So obviously, I'm not tied to the US like that. People, this is a new world, man. People can move around. And yes, I work, see, my company's headquarters is in Japan. So technically, over the last 5 years, I've not really made American dollars, right? But I work in the US office. But most of our money, our pharmaceutical development and everything comes out of Japan. Most of my team is in Asia. I work remotely. I can go live anywhere that I want at any point in time. That's why I'm able to take off anytime I want to. I'm not really glued to this America that I need to be here. A matter of fact, America has gotten too expensive. I can save a whole lot of money. I probably save about $10,000 a month by just leaving. And I'll still be able to live comfortably in Africa. Like literally the same amenities that I have here, I can build the same structure in Africa if I wanted to. Everybody's scenario and situations is different. Why do you think all these people are building homes in Africa? You go to Nigeria, you see it. Why do you think these guys are going over there to build homes if they are never going to return? Most return. The timelines are different for everybody. But here's the thing too. These people have become American citizens. Should they just give up their citizenship just to fit your narrative that they have to return to something? We are not against criticisms of Africa. We criticize Africa more than anybody. We don't even care if you criticize Africa online. Do you think you guys are the only ones on TikTok and YouTube? There are big African channels. There are guys in exile for criticizing governments. People have to flee Africa because the government's about to kill them because of how much they criticize their government. We already do that. Okay, so it's not something that we are ashamed of or we are hiding from. We criticize our government and you can criticize us. O'Shea, however, was not criticizing. That's the difference. You're all trying to cover for him because he's now your buddy. He wasn't criticizing. That's why he took the videos down. Why did he take the videos down? He was insulting Africans. So this is what these FBAs don't understand. And these Pan-Africans are starting to also get themselves involved, entangled in this. And now all of a sudden, They are joining hands with the same FBA movement to repeat the same stupid talking points that got us into these situations in the first place. You think I'm comfortable making these videos and speaking about other black people this way? You think I'm comfortable pushing back like this? I've had to do it because you guys have made us do it. And you have to be able to take it the same way we've been taking it. You're not going to get a victory lap on one side and hope that we just take it because we are not good humans, right? We're not human enough. And that, the ones in the West are the ones that are criticized. Yes, we're going to criticize. Yeah. We're going to stand for our people. Yes. And you can't doubt our nationalism and our support for our country just based on the fact that we're dual citizens or we live in foreign countries. That's up to us to decide. We know what our national anthems say. We know what our countries look like. We know our people. We are our people. And you are not. And this is the first layer of confusion. These Pan-African guys, they have contributed the most to these diaspora wars because they think Africa owes them something. They think they are Africans and they think Africans owe them something. It's just an ideology. Get it out of your foolish heads. It's just an ideology. It's never going to come to realization. We're not going to be one African borderless continent. It's not going to happen because no other continent has done it. America, are you going to open up for the Mexicans to come in and make one Central America and one North America? You're not going to do that. And those are the same dynamics in Africa. We're not going to be one nation. We're going to be individual nations, multicultural, multi-tribal, and we're going to get along with each other. That's the basis, and that's okay. And we're going to have different currencies. We're going to have different trade relationships. We're going to have different visa rules because we are independent nations, independent people, and that is okay. If you are looking to build this vision or dream of Pan-Africanism, go ahead and do it. Go carve out Mississippi and do it in Mississippi. We don't care. It's got nothing to do with us. Okay? So stop joining these guys in fighting us. If you're going to join them in fighting us, be there. But don't turn around and then next day make a new video sounding like you're standing with us. Only because you made 10 videos talking about Tariq Nasheed. Tariq Nasheed is an idiot. We don't need help talking about him. Tariq Nasheed is less dangerous to us than Oshay. But because of one phone call, all of a sudden, Oshay is your buddy. And now Oshay is right. And you're ready to dump on us. Let's keep going. Let's see what he's talking about.
That they're proud of unless they absolutely have to. And they have to for a reason. But here's my problem. So I don't have a problem about, who he's battling and why he's battling it. Because he is not wrong. He may be an asshole. Yeah. But he ain't wrong about nothing, not a word that he's saying. Because everything he's saying about the corruption, the way business is done, and the lack of opportunities for the people on the continent, everything he's saying is correct, even though he's an asshole. The problem that I have is that he's calling them keyboard Pan-Africans. The problem I have with Oshay, who keeps calling himself a Pan-African, is that he continues to brand Pan-Africanism as a negative thing, it seemingly every time he gets an opportunity, which is odd for somebody calling himself a Pan-African. To label these individuals Pan-African when they are clearly not Pan-African is propaganda. You understand? Pan-Africanism is not a club, and Oshay is smart enough to know that, therefore he must be doing it on purpose. Therefore, what is his agenda? Are you here, if you are a Pan-African, Oshay, why are you labeling Pan-African with negativity while uplifting and bolstering FBA, which is a legitimate xenophobic hate group? You know it is. But for monetary reasons, you don't go negative with FBA. But for some reason, the unifying force of Pan-Africanism, the ideology of Pan-Africanism, you chose to attach to xenophobic diaspora Africans who take advantage of the benefits that other people have laid down before they got there. You are confusing the message for your subscribers who are already confused on what Pan-Africanism is. Pan-African, you can't be a Pan-African if you're not a Pan-African. None of these people that Oshay talks about are Pan-Africans. None of these people that Oshay talks about displays any Pan-African ideology. None of these people even call themselves a Pan-African, and they do, they're fucking lying. All right? Because the only way you can be a Pan-African is to be Pan-African. Pan-Africanism is an ascension. If you are in fact a Pan-African, you've already ascended past the ego. You already ascended, you already know how to conflict resolute. You've already done all these steps. To be a Pan-African is to be on the top of your unity. So why is Oshay Duke Jackson, the guy who says he's in the Pan-African space, the guy who calls himself a Pan-African, the guy I know that does actual Pan-African stuff outside of the internet, but then comes online and attacks Pan-Africanism from the side, from the left, behind, upwards, downwards, labeling other people who are clearly not Pan-African, so that his confused subscribers can associate Pan-Africanism with a bunch of ignorant-ass, xenophobic, hateful-ass continental Africans that's too afraid to go home and
Isn't this a similar to point? And why are they even calling us continental Africans? We are Africans. There is no other Africans. What is this bullshit that they're coming? See, these guys are so confused about their identity and who they are that they always want to add adjectives to things that don't need adjectives. We are Africans. That's it. There is no continental. There is nothing. You can only add the directions on what part we're from: central, west, east, south. That's it. And maybe north, the Arabs. But for the most part, we are Africans. You're not supposed to add continental to it to make it stand a point. And this idea of that we're scared to go back home is just a mindset of the Western black. He's mad, so all of a sudden, my citizenship don't count anymore. That I'm supposed to go somewhere. Where am I supposed to go? Right? I'm a citizen of this country, or I'm not citizen enough when you're mad, right? But we are supposed to take you motherfuckers when you come over there, even if you're on some bullshit. Buckle up, fellas. This is going to be a long, long run on these internet streets. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough because I've had to dial it back because I have some Black American friends. So I like to not, I like to make this individually about some of you. And I like to pick out people like you, pick you out and explain exactly why we are in this fight, okay? And for people, especially Black immigrants, to watch out for people like this, okay? They're always going to support their tribe, and that is okay. I said that before jokingly about 4 months ago because I can see through them. I know these people. You know, I studied the Western Black. It's like if there's a PhD for studying Western Blacks, I think I'll get an honorary PhD for studying Blacks, okay? And I knew I will always be able to tell from body language, from act, when they start to do these fundraisers to build projects. I'm like, yeah, they're all the same people, man. The true spirit of people of the soil go out there and they conquer with their own means. They don't fundraise. They don't depend on people on the internet. And they're very consistent in their views. This guy is not consistent in his views. Today he's with the Africans just to pretend like he's helping y'all fight some group, gets a few dollars from that. Then when we push back a little bit because it's against his community, all of a sudden we are the bad people and now we should go home and build our countries. How different is that from Tariq? Same bullshit.
fix their own countries, and they rather sit in the West and they rather reap the benefits from those who fought before they got there.
And then they always go back to what we talked about yesterday, speaking so strongly about historical prowess and historical events as if all of you that are here in the US are not contributing to America, as if this America has just been given to you. That soon as you arrive from Africa here, you don't have to do anything, but the benefits they fought for would take care of you. He's an idiot, and anybody that thinks that is a fool. If you show up to America, these benefits they fought for is not going to protect you if you don't work hard enough. The benefit they fought for is just to stop discrimination against you. It doesn't guarantee you ability and success. That success has to be worked on and earned. But because these people, this particular group of people, don't have the mindset of working to build something on your own, they see everything that you've worked for as a consequence of what you found here. That's not true. If that was the case, there would be no poverty in the US. There will be no poor people here. There will be no homeless people here. There won't be people that will live from paycheck to paycheck or lack thereof. There won't be people that will be sitting on benefits. You got millions of your population max on benefit pro max. Yet you still believe that these African immigrants that have come here and gone to medical school, that have studied physics and chemistry and math, and are teaching at universities and colleges, impacting knowledge in children, you still believe that they've been given some benefits. They haven't earned anything. And you see how we feel when your hard work is shit on just because you found some other black people here? It's very disrespectful, and this shit has to stop. And it comes from all sides. It's not just the Tariqs. It's also these people, because that's what they've been made to believe. That soon as you show up to America, everything is given to you. That's a fucking lie, and he knows it. You know better than that. Because I remember very, very well having 2 or 3 roommates in graduate school so that I can split my rent amongst 2 other people in tight spaces. I remember going to look for jobs post-graduation and being tossed because 300, 500, 600 people applied to those jobs. Okay, I watched my wife go to SMU and take the bar exam during a pandemic. So people have to work for what they get. This is a capitalist society. We are all working for something. And if you don't want to work for something, don't look at somebody's success and say, hey, because you found me here, you're reaping my benefits. What benefits? If anything, y'all are reaping our benefits over the last 20 or 30 years. Everything that we work for and we pay into the same entitlement programs, your community has benefited the most from these entitlement programs. So who is leeching off who? Go look at the numbers. If you guys want me to do a deep dive on entitlement programs and what percentage of this population lives on benefits and entitlement, and how much immigrant groups pay into these entitlement programs, let's see who is leeching off who. Y'all have sat back and leached off all these groups, sitting on these historical events and making it look like our contributions don't matter. And that is bullshit. But I'm not surprised that he said it. I just wanted to point it out so that you guys can see it. I'll take your comments and I'll wrap this up. Jada is saying LT dislikes Africans as much as FBAs. His issue with the FBA term and movement is that it challenges his Canadianness. Listen to people closely. They will tell you how they feel. The tongue betrays. Exactly. Well, like I said, I like him personally, but he has to protect his business. He does this for a living. He has a big Black American support system. So if you have a big Black American support system and you touch this topic, you can lose your audience. I don't even know why he's touching this topic. I wish he didn't. But it feels like he's touching this topic, and he could have reasons why he's touching it. FBA is made of trash. I agree with Anthony, and it's not everybody that kind of agrees with this ideology. Afro think tank is fake too. Yeah, I saw through him about 3 months ago. I saw through him. I saw through him. I saw through him about 3 months ago. Look into Trayvon White. Okay. Let me put it on the side so I don't forget it. I'll look at that tomorrow. Trayvon White. Okay. All right. I'll look into that. And then, Rainbow, give me some more. Oh, he's an FBA politician scammer that got caught. Temi is saying Africans should not trust Black Americans. Most of them don't have integrity, no scrub. Yeah, it's how do I put this? It's the nature of the US, right? And just the markets, the capitalism that exists here. It's very hard, and I've been on YouTube and I've seen this. It's very hard to come across creators that look beyond the monetization and do what is right. Like most of them are really, really struggling. I think they've never come up on money before. They've never seen money before. So for most of these guys, this is the most money they've ever made. Like the content money is the most money they've ever made. Some of these guys wake up in the morning to $4,000 in cash apps just for providing commentary. So when you're used to this level of money for the first time, you lose your morals, you lose your mind, you lose yourself. You're like, geez, is it me now? You start questioning, oh, people are reacting to me now, people know me now. And for some of these guys that are new to money, it gets to their head a little bit. It gets to their head. The fame, the money starts to get to their head, and then they lose themselves. I don't think he's a bad person. I think he's just ideologically too deep, knees deep to where he doesn't think. He doesn't process things correctly. He hates people because of their skin color. I mean, this guy is the most racist black man that I've ever seen on the internet. How his channel stays up. Sometimes I'm like, geez, Ninja, you wrote this? Like, you have a title like this, and they still allow this video to post? He's a racist, and that's sad. Like, you're appealing to white America to be racially tolerant and to be inclusive and to do the right things, yet you're racist towards them. What if white Americans reciprocate the same energy? How are we going to get anywhere in these race relations? Like, how? Salute to you, Rick. Long time, my brother. How are we going to get ahead in these racial relations if you are racist towards other groups? And also, if you've had one conversation with Oshay Duke Jackson, and all of a sudden you're on Oshay's side, we don't. And I'm going to say this on the record. None of us are against any black American traveling to Africa, seeing certain things and criticizing us. Please, if you go over there and you see some things that are not done right, put it on video and talk about it. That's how our leaders are going to change stuff. That information is also very important to us because not everybody travels as frequently as they can. So we all need that information. It's beautiful. Please do it, but do it in a respectable way. That's not what Oshay did. Oshay was talking about people's nose, he's not being Nigerian, talking as if the Africans were lower than. That's not criticism. That's disparaging people. And these guys seem not to understand the difference between the two. They think we're upset because we're calling out, because Oshay was calling us out. No. Africa's business is on the internet, man. Just Google African Village on YouTube. There's tons of videos about us. Nothing he said is new. African problems have been the same for the last 30 years. Nobody's hiding that, right? So you can talk about the things you come across when you travel to Africa. But here's the thing. When you're presenting it, present it in a more respectable way. At least be honest about it. And don't let them sound like Oshay was presenting it like a gotcha. Hey, I got you guys, man. Hey, I got you guys. Well, when you present it like this, you're going to receive some of the feedback that he's receiving. And the question I have for our think tank is this, and it's simple. Why did Oshay take those videos down? Nobody threatened him, but he took it down. He took it down because he knew that those videos were not good videos. Salute to you, foundational, what? Nigerian foundational American. That's funny. That's a funny. Salute to you, Sean. Sean, all black Americans are in ghetto. Yes, I'm aware. I know that. I have a few friends in corporate that are black Americans. They're fantastic people. It's not everybody. This is why I always put it out there that I know it's not everybody that is buying onto this bullshit, right? And if these relationships are going to get better, there has to be an honest conversation about our expectations. I think the lineage issues that they're talking about, I'm not mad at the lineage stuff. I don't think any African is mad about the lineage stuff. But what has the lineage thing got to do with sandals and deodorants, right? That's them moving the conversation to insults. And all I'm saying is, if they move away from the agenda of lineage to real direct disrespect of the Africans, I think it's only fair game for the Africans to also openly disrespect them. They are leaving the room for people to be disrespectful. And I don't like to see that. But it feels like these guys are just not going to learn, right? And they're just going to keep doing that. Let me see. I think I'm missing some comments here. Salute to Rainbow. Salute to Temi. Short. It's in the house. Rick, man, I haven't seen you in a long time, man. Salute to you, bro. That means you're making all that money, man. I mean, your man is making all the money. That means my man is making all that money, man. That means my man is making all that money,
We
man.
need another one. Phone now. I'm hungry though. I ain't gonna lie. I can go for some fries or something, folks. I ain't gonna lie, folks. I can go for some fries or something.
Salute to the big cheese, man. Hey, big cheese. I'm as American as you, bro. And I ain't going anywhere, man. I'm here to replace you. I'm, uh, I'm American as apple pie, bro. uh, Nigerian friend says, "Hey, Nana, every time I come to your live, one of my mods always mute you. I don't know why, because I don't say anything bad about you. Or I don't know. I think KF is the only mod in the house. I need to see. Unless you're using words that YouTube automatically takes out. Unless you're using words that YouTube takes out. Okay. I don't know. Robert, I think I may have, if this is a follow up, you may have to add some context to this. I don't think I'm dividing people. I just think if this was addressed to me, I just think I'm providing enough rebuttal, because people believe the things that these guys are talking about. And if we don't present another side to it, then it feels like the Africans will have no defense, right? So it's only a rebuttal to the things that they say, which, like I said, I don't think any African has issues with the lineage stuff. The lineage stuff is good. You all can have it. Nobody cares, where the lineage stuff from. I'm a strong believer in Black Americans embracing their Americanness. I think they should always embrace the fact that they're Americans first. I support that. I don't think you should say you're Africans. So I think a lot of us are with you on that, because, like I said, even Afro think tank, when he shows up in Nigeria, they know he's not African, right? He doesn't even need to say anything. By just appearance, they know he's not African. It's very simple. So just embracing that you're American is good enough. All these subgroups and sub delineations and things they're talking about, I don't think the average African cares. But the debate, and there's no debate about that. The problem is just openly disrespecting people and talking about their features and calling them musty and telling them they don't use deodorants. What has that got to do with your lineage? Just claim your lineage and go, right? But they can't seem to be able to do that. And I think the only way we can force them to back off with the insults is to use the same tactics. Yes, it's going to be a little bit divisive in the beginning, but a year or two into this, they're going to look at this and say, man, this is too much, let's just give it up. And I think that time is coming. This is Jada again. Oh, says, I'm so sad I have to miss the rest of this live. I'm barely keeping my eyes open over here. Going to catch some Z's on my break and keep on keeping your foot on their neck, Nana. Are you on the East Coast? I think yes. It sounds like you're at work, right? If you're on your break, that means you're at work. You can catch the replay tomorrow. I'm about to wrap it up here in about 5 minutes. I think I'm just going to try to take all your comments and wrap it up. See, okay, so this is your follow up now. Robert is saying there's a psyop going on to divide Black Americans internally and to and to divide us from the diaspora. Please be aware of that. I mean, I've heard people talk about that, but and somebody said in one of my comment section a few months ago that he believed I was getting paid for this, and I always I open up my AdSense for everybody to see that I'm not being paid for this. I'm only here to defend my people and to provide rebuttals to some of the things that we hear and to correct some things, because obviously even the Afro think tank video that we just played, if I didn't play this, a lot of Africans would think that this guy is on your side, and now they're saying, "Oh, geez, this guy even says that." Well, if a Pan African who has built 100,000 subscribers on YouTube for talking Pan African can say this, then every black person can say this. This is what I'm saying, right? I'm okay if Tariq Nasheed says it, because we know Tariq is an idiot. But if Afro Think Tank can say it, every black American can say it. You know what I'm saying? Every black American can say it, because this guy goes to the continent. This guy builds a house on the continent. This guy lives on the continent. So you think he'll be very sympathetic to the Nigerians that have embraced him. But they are all doing the same. You know why? Because Pan-Africanism doesn't pay. There is no money in Pan-Africanism on YouTube anymore. So all these groups are moving. It's tribal. He just can't move to the FBA guys because the FBA guys are just too crazy. Those guys, like, they are. If the FBA guys remove the sandals insults, the deodorant insults, and they make it only about lineage, all of these guys are gonna move towards that. That's what I strongly believe. They are all gonna move towards that. Let me take a few more of your comments. Salute to you, Rick, man. I'm so glad to see. I almost called your phone, bro. I swear to God. It was like 3 days ago. I said if I didn't see you, I was going to call you on your phone because I still have your number. I was like, man, I'm going to call Rick if I don't see you over here. I did shout you out yesterday, by the way. So I'm very happy to see you, bro. Jane. Welcome, Jane. Jane is saying, what have noticed most of the loud ones come from the hoods where women and men are so loud they can agree without fighting or raising their voices with their protruding Oshay Google nose. That's funny. Yeah, there's a bit of hood culture that is playing into this because, like I said, like the black guys that I work with in corporate, they don't think like this, right? So once you've have some education, you're around the right people, you don't have this mindset. These are all hood boys. They may have joined the military a little bit, came out of the military, but didn't really join the civilian workforce. You know, fake some injury to retire, and now they are YouTubers, right? This is literally the career trajectory of these guys, right? So this is why they believe that everything is given to you if you're an immigrant. They don't think that you actually go to work. This is what they think. They think you're in America, you don't go to work and you get a paycheck every Friday. These people are crazy, man. Like, I didn't think money was that easy to come by. That as soon as you show up in America, people will give you money. What the hell? Oh no, sure, for sure, man. I see you all the time, bro. Big, I know you're a big supporter of the channel, man. I see you all the time. I see your comments even in the main on the main videos. I see you contributing all the time, man. Glad to have you, bro. Let me see if I'm missing a few more comments. Mr. Swahili is here. My brother educated these dumb blacks. Yeah, exactly, man. This is all it's about, man. It's not out of hate, it's just we have to push back, Like I said, I'm hoping to go to get to a point where we don't even have to even talk about these losers, right? Because they are losers. Like, I'd rather talk about finance, the stock market, stock strategies, savings, investments. I'm not saying invest in me, but like just give you general strategies, some of the things that I do, like the fun stuff, right? Things that can actually really help you. Risky and not risky, but not so much on the risky side. The less risky, sound investment strategies that you're supposed to have, and giving you reminders like invest in your retirement accounts, how to diversify your retirement portfolios, some technicalities, especially if you have 1099 income, how you can maximize your 401k contributions using SEP and all these other side programs. There's so much information in this head, but these idiots will not allow me to even get there because, first of all, they just won't stop. And I'm okay if it's just Tariq Nasheed doing this. This is why you don't see me react to a lot of Tariq videos. But if Oshay was not doing this, or even if Oshay comes back to the US and does this from the US, I will not even talk about this FBA stuff anymore. I'll move on to something more productive. I'll be honest. I'll move on to something more productive. But as long as O'Shea remains there, I just have to do this. Because if I don't, he's going to keep making these rant videos, insulting Africans. And, he's still in Kenya. I thought he had gone back to Uganda. It feels like he can't go back to Uganda. So he's still in Kenya. But I'm just saying to him, I said, man, don't let the Kenyans run you out of there. I mean, if you got run out of Uganda, don't do the same with Kenya. Don't do the same with Kenya. You can present all the issues of Africa in a more civil tone, in a more respectable way. And if you do, even as Africans, we're going to support you for reporting reporting factually, right? But if you don't do that and you start insulting us and doing all kinds of things, then a lot of my guys we're going to have to push back. This is an interesting comment here. Jimmy is saying, Nana, you base all African Americans on Tariq and FBA. All African Americans don't agree with everything they say. So you're creating enemies of Black Americans that support Africans. No. I don't. And I don't know how long you've been listening to me. There's some videos of me where I go a little bit off, and yeah, there's some of them that I go a bit extreme, but some of them are also I'll joke a bit. So maybe my humor is a little bit dry, but for the most part, I always say not all of them, and I usually pick specific individuals. Like today, we're talking about Afro Think Tank, right? So it's usually I pick the individuals or O'Shea or Auston Holloman. Like I make it about the particular individual. All right. Oh man, my nose is itchy. But yeah, I don't think I have a general. I don't think I'm contributing to these diaspora wars. If anything, I'm correcting a lot of the things they're saying about us that is not true. I think I got all your comments. This is the last one. Yeah. And I agree. Oh, I think I missed Efro here. What are your thoughts on three-letter K? I can't say the word. I think you're talking about the white nationalist movements and stuff. I don't support any extreme form of nationalism. I think, like any ideology, if you are too deep into it, it creates problems. I like moderate positions. People that have moderate positions. You can be conservative or liberal on certain things, but I don't think you should put yourself in one box and say, "Well, I'm liberal, I'm conservative," and then you have to agree with everything the left says or everything the right says. There are components of each side that really is important to the discourse. You just have to find your lane, right? But don't be a hardened ideologue. And that's the problem we're having with these Pan-Africans, is because they're ideologues. And when you become an ideologue, you usually miss the point. But anyway, let me wrap this up. Y'all have a great night. Y'all have been great. I think this should be the last comment here. Black Americans didn't have a choice. For that, it doesn't bother me that Afro Think Tank wants to connect to his ancestry. Yeah, exactly. No, it doesn't. It doesn't bother me. But I think they have for this to be effective, they have to understand us, that we're not trying to say we are better. Nobody says no human being is better than any human being. We are all created in the image of God. Some are doing well than others, fine, but nobody is better. So that word better should not be even used across the board. Both sides have to approach each other with a bit of humility and compassion, and appreciate that if somebody has some struggles or deficiencies, you should not really use that against them. That's how it's supposed to start. And we also have to understand that we are two different people and two different cultures after all these years of being separated. Once you understand those fundamentals, you can relate with any Black person from any part of the world and you won't have any issues. And on that note, I wish you all a good night. Enjoy your weekend. There's no stream tomorrow because I have child activities, but we'll be back on Sunday. It'll be panel Sunday, so get ready if you want to be on a panel on Sunday. I'll bring you on. Y'all have a great night.